Morning. I'm always watching to make sure that word live shows up. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Happy Hump Day. We are into a fifth month and we're having another chat on a Wednesday morning called Hump Day. And it's a morning here where I am in the Pacific time zone in the United States for a couple more weeks. And soon I'll be in a completely different time zone in a completely different region of the world, and I'm very excited about that. So, wherever you are and whatever time it is for you, many, many blessings. Happy day, happy morning, happy evening, happy late night. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so glad to see you. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard, founder and CEO of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And self-mastery is all about mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. Whatever your life brings your way. Woohoo! Isn't that a fun one to contemplate? I spent a lot of time thinking about that. And I just want to say a couple things about these happy chats. So I go live weekly as much as I possibly can. That's the intent, anyway, to kind of tackle some issues that people either bring up with me, send them to me, talk to me about them. And sometimes they're just things that, the light bulb goes off in my head. Light bulb goes off. And then I think, okay, this really would be something worth addressing. It's something that people are needing to navigate or wanting to understand better, and that's big for me because the ideas that people have around where their happiness comes from, about how they actually thrive within those lives that they're mastering, the ideas that we have about where trauma comes from and what good it does in our lives, and where struggle and strife and relationship difficulties and illness, when like our ideas about all that stuff could use some polishing up, could use some shifting. Um, and so I go live to spend 20 or 30 minutes sort of navigating some of those things. Sometimes, and it happens a lot of times, I don't publish a schedule. People sometimes ask me, maybe if you publish a schedule, people could put it on their calendar and show up to hear that particular topic. And when I've played around with that, what has come to me is that's not how it works. Like, our lives bring our way multiple dynamics that are primarily in order for us to figure out the multiple dynamics in our lives. And so it's not on a schedule where I can say, Tuesday I'm going to be talking about Wednesday. Wednesday I'm going to be talking about this. And next Wednesday it'll be that. And next Wednesday it'll be the other thing. No. What I typically use, what I've used for my book, what I used in my classes, what I use for my private coaching, what I use for the Hump Day Happy Chat and the Bliss Collective community is things that are happening real time. They're not necessarily only in my life, but my life is the basis in the sense that what I'm going through with people, around people, through people, what I'm watching from afar, what I'm hearing about, that usually triggers something, and I get an internal kind of higher message that says, yeah, go with that. So I just wanted to share with you what you'll see when you see that list of Hump Day Happy Chats, historic Hump Day Happy Chats, in the playlist on my YouTube channel. It's because now there's 212 and in the archives, and it's because those things were what was bubbling up. And you might hear me, even in the introduction in other Hump Day Happy Chats, say something similar to this. So I hope that, my intent is that what I'm noticing, what's bubbling up, is something that you may be noticing. And whether you noticed it today or yesterday, or you don't notice it until you even watch the video, the whole idea is that you are getting huge, enormous benefit, and um, that helps you to go from struggle and strive to joyful and thrive. Okay, enough of the preamble. I have another little commercial commercial message. People have been asking about the glow up experience, and can they still register. It's We're getting down to the countdown. We're inside 18 days till this exquisite experience. Yes, I call it exquisite. It's part of my heart, and I feel like we have created it to be a wonderful 6 night, 7 day journey into you, deeper into you, higher into your consciousness, deeper into yourself, that will have you noticing all the ways that you're not in thrive and flow, and then we'll be helping you create your own pathway into wholeness, restoring your wholeness, and returning you to a state of flow. And so, 18 more days. You can register or see more about it, or send me a message. You can PM me, call me, email me. We're closing out those last 2 spots, and we would love to have you join us. It's at glowupworld.com. Glowupworld.com. You can learn more, and you can register right there. If you're the I'm jumping in while the weather's fine kind of person, hallelujah. If you need more information, we would love to talk to you. Okay, Hump Day Happy Chat, moving on now. So, what's alive for me right now? Besides my nose running, haha. What's alive for me right now is a continuation of a serious family emergency that happened April 29th that continues. And it involves my dearly beloved big brother, Michael, who many of you may know. You probably have seen pictures on here and other places of us together. And it's triggered a lot. A lot. I don't feel like I've been too much in worry and fear. That's not the kind of constitution that I've created inside myself. So I get to the really of the situation, and then I may go into the place of, you know, what, and I'll be completely transparent. What the F is going on here? How did this happen? What's going on? Who has the answers? You know, I get very, I kind of fall back into drill sergeant energy. My father, in his Marine Corps career, was a drill sergeant. So, well, he's a gunnery sergeant. And so, you know, there's the energy of kind of demanding to know what's happening, and to sort that out, figure it out, save a life. And this has been a very serious situation. And so, as I've gone through it, I've been thinking about this sibling love dance, as I call it. A sibling love dance, not a sibling rivalry. We've never had that. A sibling love dance, though. And I've thought about how much I may be taking for granted about him, my beloved Michael, Grammy-nominated musician with the project Milkshake. He's had several other acclaimed musical projects, I call them, groups he's been in, and he produces other people's albums. He has won many singer-songwriter awards. The Washington Area Music Association has recognized him with multiple Whammys, the regional form of a Grammy, the national or international recognition. But I also love him for this creative side. You know, he was an actor, an acclaimed one when we were in high school and college, and he is in the Screen Actors Guild, as am I. There are just so much of the togetherness of the sibling love dance. And I think of the ways I've taken the relationship for granted, or maybe him for granted, the ways I've been anchored in a misunderstanding, like my own idea of him that really doesn't line up with the idea he has for himself and his life. The ways I may have discounted how much he contributes to me. So all these things are going off, sitting next to someone in an ICU unit, someone who's not speaking to you, and just exploring their face, stroking their leg, just being there gave me a lot of time to go into internal contemplation. Internal contemplation about, what came up, that's the thread that's in this Hump Day Happy Chat, the what's your unfinished business? That came up as I was asking myself, what have I not done for him? Have I not said to him? Have I not explored with him? Have I not experienced with him? We have a big trip that the three of us, my sister-in-law Heidi, my brother Michael, and I were going to be doing at the end of July. That I'm not sure. I'm like very cautiously optimistic, but mostly in the realism of it, not seeing how that's going to happen. I'll still hold out to be enlightened by a possibility that I'm not seeing. I love surprise and delight, so universe, surprise and delight me with the Penzic trip 2023. So I've been thinking about that. And so where do we get to what's your unfinished business? So I started looking in my life, like, wait a minute. The things that I'm thinking about that are relative to Michael are not the only places where it feels like I've left things undone, where there is some unfinished business. And not all of it has to do with, deep and rich dynamics in a relationship. In fact, most of mine don't have anything to do with other relationships than the one I keep with myself. And that I say that's the most important relationship that any of us will ever have, no matter what. And so as I look at inventory, so to speak, what has been going on? Like, what's my truth in this idea of unfinished business with myself? Like, my relationship with myself is really precious and important to me. It's a source of my tenacity and my joy and my fun and my resilience and my fear and my, like, I'm sick of that. Like, whatever those things are, they come from me being willing to have that internal give and take, that reciprocity, the idea of I am my own best friend first. I am, and actually need to be, my own dear love before I can really experience a dear love from the outside. From the outside. Life is an inside out game. And so unfinished business. So when you think of unfinished business, you could think of a child whose best friend moves away, military kid, done that a lot of times, without having had the opportunity to say goodbye, without having had the opportunity to do one more sleepover, have one more kickball game. I loved kickball, is my favorite thing. So maybe as they grow older, that's unfinished business. So for me in this present moment, what is that unfinished business? And I can see a lot. What is showing up for you, about you, for you? Maybe you notice procrastination. Well, procrastination is the outward expression of a fear. People talk about it being time management. It ain't. Psychologically, it's fear-based. I'm preventing myself from handling something, from dealing with something, from getting something done, getting something done because of fear about either what's going to happen in the course of getting it done or what's going to happen when it is done. For me, I see several things where I get started and I'm really gung ho, and then I kind of fizzle out. I kind of move on to the next thing is what I call it. Oh, a shiny object. I move on to the next thing. It's not quite like it's nothing at all like I hear about the diagnoses of ADD or ADHD. It's nothing like that. It's more about I feel something inside of me that gives up. And that's important to know because what am I giving up on? Oh, yeah, myself. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, some energy's coming up from that. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say I throw in the towel myself. I certainly hang it up. I'm noticing, even as I'm speaking right this moment, in this exploration. I love this, so juicy. Even in this moment of exploration, real time, you're seeing realization, epiphany. Oh my gosh, that's one piece of unfinished business. So, what is it for you? So, one of the things that I'm noticing that I notice that is really the meat of this is I would love for you to look at the unfinished business that has to do with your practices. What about your practices is a place where you've left the business unfinished? So I say in my book and all of my teachings, the things that I'm talking about are forever practices. They're never once and you're done. I don't believe in silver bullet solutions when we're talking about spirituality and life dynamics. We're talking about self mastery. I don't believe in that. Um, I don't believe you can snap your fingers and have a total transformation in an instant that never needs continual support. I do believe you can jump frequencies. I believe that. And I definitely get excited about taking myself from one frequency to the next, higher, 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 higher. I do believe in instantaneously jump a frequency. Been there, done that. I even believe in time travel. I even believe in things where there is some element of, I can do this instantaneously. I believe in loaves and fishes manifestation. I've experienced that. Not with loaves and fishes, but scorpion, rain, no rain. So you have superpowers, just like mine. You should be playing around and experiencing those things. But what about your practices may be getting in the way because you're not really engaging in them? What are the practices that are unfinished business? And so, is it, I wanted to take this intuition class because I wanted to get deeper into my third eye, my sixth sense, and the aspects of me that are not of the third dimension. And it's been a decade and you haven't signed up. But then there are things happening and you're like, I wish I could see. I wish I had my intuition. And then even beyond that, you may be, and I'm not saying that anything's wrong here. This is just an example, and it can come from my life too. Wink, wink. You then notice that you're actually paying someone else to help you see the things that if you had kept up with the practices, I might be seeing. Ha ha ha. Notice that switch? Third person to first person. I encourage and invite all of us to talk in the first person. All that stuff about it's selfish, it shows that you're egotistical, blah, blah, blah. That's not what we're talking about. This is in spiritual transformation. The I is more powerful than the you. When you're putting things outside you, you get to step aside and make it not about you. In this kind of body of dance, the dance of living happy to me, it is about you. And it's important that you claim it as a way of taking yourself deeper into understanding exactly how it is about you. So, yeah, what practices am I not practicing? I, I like, how is it that these practices have fallen by the wayside or I've gotten bored? And I'm even noticing that without the practice, I can't do the ultimate thing that I want to do. And yet, I've lost my enthusiasm. And spiritual practices are really important to living the high vibe life. They help you go deeper into all of your relationships, but especially the one with you, the sacred aspect of you, the divine aspect of you, the divinity in the world around you. They help you tap into your deepest values, not the ones that you may think about on the surface, but something that may be hidden below the surface, that it wants to get your attention. It helps you connect to the divine in all of those forms. Nature, other people, propels you on this journey into your own wholeness, the wholeness of the interplay and integration, harmonizing of divine masculine with divine feminine. Integrating divinity, heaven coming into earth through me as the sacred chalice, the vessel, and connecting with what I am in this frequency called the third dimension. Harmonizing and reconnecting, being the spiritual, integrated spiritual human person. All those things are about wholeness, and all those things don't happen when we don't fully explore the ways to bring them to life in our lives for our own benefit. They enable you to become actively engaged in your true self, your inner higher self, the depth of the magnificent essence that you are. That's the ME in living happy to be me. You are magnificent essence. Your essential nature is godlike. Just saying. And these practices expand the breadth of all the things that you're doing, help you see in a new light, help you reconnect places where maybe you got connected to something that really doesn't serve you, and you need to unplug from that source of energy and re-plug in to a source at a higher level. You hear practice makes perfect. Yeah, it does. And in fact, we become that which we practice. From metaphysical quantum physics nature, shouting out to Jennifer Huff, the physics underneath spirituality is her bailiwick. She's amazing at it. Metaphysically, quantum physically, where you put your energy is where things get created. Interesting. Unfinished business. My energy pulled out of whatever that was, and it's just languishing there. It's just this, it's like a huh? And then I put my energy over here, and I danced in that, and some of that got completed, and maybe some of it didn't. Unfinished business. What are you practicing? What practices do you need to re-engage in order to complete some of the business of your business? Think about that. Everything is about everything. So it's not just, oops, I didn't get that cleaning done. And I'm talking about way more important things than just accomplishments and achievements and degrees and all that left brain mental stuff. I'm talking about the personal growth and development that takes your entire life and lifestyle to a different level. A higher level of prosperity and abundance, a higher level of joy and peace, a higher level of play and lightness of being, a higher level of connection to your higher self and the divine in all its forms. So what you practice or what you don't practice is showing up in your life in lots of different ways. Maybe one of your practices is anger or sadness. And subconsciously, that's where your energy and attention is flowing. And that's what's showing up in your life. Situations where anger is prevalent, dynamics that bring out the angry person in you. And then it's like doubling down. Because when the angry person in you gets triggered, you become it, potentially. But it can be the same way, and it can be the same way with joy. That was a practice, by the way, from improv comedy. Yes, and instead of yes, but. So you saw me go back and reclaim higher ground from a statement that was at a lower vibration, not right or wrong, serving me or not so much. So this is this question of where I have unfinished business, how is it related to my not practicing the practices of the life I intend to live? And if you're on this journey with me, and I'm really grateful that you are on this journey with me, these two things are important questions. What practices am I practicing in order to live the life I want? And what practices would actually help me get better at finishing my unfinished business? About actually looking, about setting up my life so that I don't have so many things going on that I'm constantly letting one go so I can get the other one done. Where I'm understanding the power of the word no. No, thank you. No more. Not possible. Not going to do it. Won't be there. Like, what are those things that the practices help lead to? I think there are a couple of videos on this YouTube channel that say I'm practicing what I preach and learning from what I teach. And I do it in funny little voices because I'm an actress. Practicing what I preach and learning from what I teach. Important state of being for me. And so one of the blessings coming out of this serious and still serious medical situation with my big bro is that I've gotten a chance to look at unfinished business beyond that sibling love dance and into my own self-love dance, my own self-awareness dance, and how that might be hindering me. So what do you do? What do you do with this? Obviously, you know what my first step is always going to be to breathe. So you notice, whoa, take a deep breath. I'm going to explore unfinished business. And allow yourself. Allow, right? Accept, allow, and receive. Accept that in a really fantabulous life, there's going to be some unfinished business. That's not the issue. The issue is, are you consciously choosing to walk away from some business, and then it's not unfinished business, it's no longer the business of my life. It's been, the project's done. Then that's done, finished business, because I've said consciously it's not going to happen. Unfinished business is still on my plate as I really believe this is something important for me, or juicy for me, or delicious for me, or I don't know what it's going to be for me, but I feel called to do it. That's France, by the way. So as I do these things, and when you notice, accept, allow, receive, accept that, yeah, I probably do have some unfinished business that is not completed business. I do have some that maybe I've been thinking as unfinished, but as I review my life and where I am and what's going on, I think I'm going to put that in the done column. That's fantastic. So breathe. Do your own little inventory. It's only for you. You don't have to share it with anybody. You don't have to go around on Facebook or anywhere else saying, oh my God, look at all my unfinished business. You notice I'm not telling you about them. I just know that they're there, and I'm exploring them for my highest and best good, for my benefit, in my experience of myself. So you breathe, you get comfortable, you go inside, you explore. first you identify the what. What's unfinished? Then you accept, okay, that's the way I've done it up till now. I can choose a little different path. Then you get into the space of, so what now what? So I notice that it's unfinished. I forgive myself. I accept myself. That's where it is. And I ask myself, is it serving me to leave it there? Or shall I do something different? That's called conscious choice to change. Ooh, juicy. That C word. Conscious choice to change. Or actually, 3 C words. Oh, that's not serving me. Huh. What would I like to do? So what now what? I notice the things that feel like unfinished business. I'm going to claim them as such. I'm going to look at, I wonder why they are there. What am I missing? What's not bubbling up and happening in my life? Specifically because I've left that business unfinished. And in it, excuse me, in this exploration, be sure that you're looking for the practices that you've left as unfinished before you actually perfected them, before you mastered them, and how they could be helping you with whatever else is unfinished in that integrated life, in that integrated way. Continuing to polish on the mastery of the practices might help you accelerate your finishing of the business in certain areas where things are left undone. And throughout all of this, you stay in the love affair with yourself. You stay in the, I wonder why I'm doing this, and what is it that I have to learn about myself, to explore about myself? Where's the juicy center of this cake that shows me what more is possible when I do master this? What more is possible when I do master this? So, ta-da, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on the replay, I would love it for you to do #replay. Tell me something special about your hump day. Remember, you can always private message me or put a comment in and let me know what you'd like me to address or questions you're having. Please check out my group, the Bliss Connect Collective. We practice these practices every day, and we lift each other up into the light. And glowupworld.com. Come in and play. Many, many blessings. Thanks for being here. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard, signing off from today's Hump Day Happy Chat, which I typically do with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, which is the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken. Wake up to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. Yay! Give me a heaping helping of that emotional freedom, baby. I'll take some. Many blessings. Stay well and choose happy, y'all. Bye now.